Hey guys, Shandamon or Shandamon here. I'm here with a video of things you should know before hopping into Lost Ark, which is basically like a few tips before you actually get into the game that you should probably know. But let's get into the video. Now the first thing is, I did mention this in Cybo's video from a few weeks back, but I'll go a little bit more in depth here. I wish I knew how important joining a guild or community was. Back when I first started playing in February 2021, which was almost a year ago, I neglected to find a guild. Why, you might ask? Because I didn't think it'd be too important. Doing so, I basically learned the game at a very slow rate, and I also didn't have any groups to run with. I also wasn't aware if I was doing something wrong or aware of a bunch of other mechanics in the game, and on top of that, my build was pretty trash and no one really told me that I was doing something wrong. It just led to disaster, basically. Being in a guild that helps you learn the game is so much better, and chances are you may find some friends in there and just have a blast playing the game with them. Overall, ever since I joined a guild, my experience in Lost Ark has been 10 times better. So, join a guild. Number 2 would be alts. So, when I first made my character, I didn't make an alt for at least 2 months. It was a bit weird learning that having alts would help progress my main faster, but I eventually caved in and made alts, but that was a year ago. They have made the game a lot better to play time management wise ever since, but I still think that people should know that running dailies and weeklies on your alts will always be better for your character progression. I'm not saying to make an alt right away on launch or whenever you decide to start this game, because there's already a bunch of content to do on your main before you even consider your first alt. All I'm saying is that when you feel like you want to try a new class, or when you're like stuck at a wall and you're kind of done with whatever you're doing on your main, then maybe consider an alt, but don't rush it. Number 3 would probably be the importance of side content and things like collectibles. You might think, oh, getting reputation up in collectibles just sounds like something completionists would do. No, that's not true at all. Every collectible in this game will help contribute to your account progression as a whole. For example, some collectibles like giant hearts or island tokens give skill points, which you can use to allocate more points into your skills, making them stronger. Or doing something like the Adventurer's Tome, giving you some items for report progression, or merchant scrolls, which unlock different kinds of traveling merchants at your island, which you can buy runes and stuff from. I don't want to go too into depth here, but you kind of get the point. Next up is using your island Stronghold and life skilling, or trade skilling as it's called in the West version. Now I actually didn't realize how important this was until I found out that I was blowing lots of gold on just buying items for every raid. I ignored this for a few months until I started progressing it, and I actually just ended up saving so much gold in the long term. Reason being is because you can craft battle items you need for raids, materials for upgrading, as well as some buffs like reduced upgrading costs for your alts when your main reaches a certain point. You can also make a little extra gold this way by selling the mats you farmed or selling items you craft, which will be especially helpful at launch. During my time in Russia, every night I would start a production line of 120 whirlwind bombs. And the next morning I would just sell them for an easy 2 to 3k gold. I did this every day in December, by the way. And finally, the last thing I want to mention is to take your time to learn everything in the game. I know it's weird saying that because launch is right around the corner and a lot of people will be rushing to 50 to do their things before daily reset. I am one of those people. But the point is, if you're new to the game, you should just enjoy the journey. Start learning about the systems when you get there. Honestly, the only reason you have to rush the game is if you're like me and you've already done the leveling numerous times. But I get that even though if people are new, they have fun just rushing the game and getting to the end game. So that's perfectly fine too, but it's not very recommended. But anyways, I hope these things have helped you get an idea of how you should go about playing the game and what you should aim for. Obviously, there are a few things I may have missed, but I think these points were the most important to me. If you enjoyed, consider subscribing and also dropping a follow on my Twitch. I'll be streaming this game at launch and beyond, and will be having a blast. Anyways, peace!